Hello everyone and welcome to May B&B 724 YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video thumbs up. Nick Marone captures the eye of Katie Logan. According to spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Jack Wagner will continue to play Nick Marone in Los Angeles. According to soap opera teasers, Nick will express his desire for Brooke Logan to return, but one of his other ex-girlfriends may have other ideas. Here are some spoilers for what will happen next on Bold and Beautiful. According to B&B spoilers, passions will ignite between Nick Marone and Brooke Logan once more, despite their complex romantic past. However, before the pair formally reunites, there might be some challenges. Brooke and Nick face challenges. When Ridge Forrester got envious that his half-brother was back in town, it became evident that he still harbored affections for Brooke. Although Ridge was completely happy with Taylor Hayes, he doesn't want Brooke to move on either and will cause problems for her and Nick. According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge isn't the only person who could ruin Nick Marone and Brooke Logan's reunion. In actuality, Brooke's sister Katie Logan had an affair with Ridge's brother, therefore she is not the only lady in Los Angeles who was married to the captain. After rejecting Bill Spencer's proposal of reconciliation, Katie Logan has remained unattached for some time. Heather Tom's character has finally returned to the dating scene, and she already looks particularly interested in Nick Marone's return to the area. She questioned her older sister about her plans with her ex-husband last week. Will the Logan sisters fight? Viewers haven't seen the Logan sisters fight over one of the men on Bold and Beautiful for a number of years. Taylor's desperate proposal and Will's underhanded ruse. For the week of June 23, 2025, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful have been released. Fans can anticipate that Will Spencer will trick Luna Nozawa. In the meantime, Ridge Forrester receives a marriage proposal from Taylor Hayes. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. The desperate proposal of Taylor Hayes. In the weekly preview segment, Taylor pops the question to Ridge. A woman proposing to a man is perfectly acceptable. This wasn't planned, though, and it appears to be a spontaneous response to Brooke's boasting about Ridge becoming envious of Nick Marone. It appears that someone will hear Taylor's suggestion. Prior to that, let's discuss Ridge's expression during the proposition. Unfortunately for Taylor, it appears that Ridge is uncomfortable rather than thrilled by Taylor's proposal of marriage. Because he doesn't want Taylor to experience broken heart syndrome once more, the designer may still say yes. Nick Marone's startling information. Nick is probably the one who overhears the proposal. It is hinted that Brooke learns about the proposal via Nick. After being stunned by the news, the blonde inquires about Ridge's reaction. I can see Brooke consenting to give Nick another opportunity if Ridge says yes. The caution of Sheila Carter Sharps. Sheila Carter Sharp will receive a warning, according to previews for the week of June 23 on The Bold and the Beautiful. The redeemed villain discusses the Spencer men's propensity for dishonesty and treachery. Bill Spencer may have been feigning love for her in order to obtain confessions, according to the grandma. Surprisingly, Will appears to be quite similar to his father. Tricked by Luna Nozawa, Will says he dumped Electra Forrester in a promotional video. Will says he is at Luna's flat because he enjoys danger. Will's expression isn't one of lust when Luna begins making out with him. There is obviously a plan in place since it is disgusting. Will might persuade Luna to confide in him and confess her illegal scheme. But because Luna is so cunning, she may receive a hint that anything is off. Will himself and everyone else could be in risk if that occurs. Let's wait and see what occurs next. Daphne's choice, Katie's discovery, and the Tridge twist. Finally, the Thursday, June 19, 2025, recap of The Bold and the Beautiful is available. Katie Logan finds out that Nick Marone is returning to town in today's episode. Ridge Forrester and Taylor Hayes have an awkward conversation. In addition, Daphne Rose is invited to return by Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Steffy Forrester Finnegan's shocking revelation. Hope Logan and Carter Walton express their gratitude to Steffy for returning to Forrester Creations. The brunette claims that some of the initiatives they launched while in charge, including the fragrance line, have impressed her. The figures are very astounding. Hope and Kato are happy. Steffi desires Daphne's return. Steffi mentions that they are now engaged. She believes Daphne will comprehend. Hope asserts that respect comes after comprehension. Steffi concays with Kato that everything will work out. Without Daphne, Steffi is unable to release another scent. The nose is necessary for FC. See what transpired in the most recent B&B episode by reading this. The proclamation of Carter Walton. In the supply closet, Hope and Carter arrive out of nowhere and start making out. Carter is aware that Daphne is bothering Hope. Hope claims that she is not insecure and that she doesn't trust Daphne, even if she understands that it makes commercial sense. Hope and Carter talk about trust and the Daphne problem. Daphne will serve as a continual reminder of the incident. The COO does not believe the nose will return. Hope's face takes on a troubled expression as they embrace and kiss. The choice made by Daphne Rose. Steffi phones Daphne in the interim. They discuss the cologne used by the men. It's incredible and unreal. Steffi needs someone in Los Angeles to make the perfume. Steffi needs her pal returned as well. No, Daphne replies. Steffi never gives up. Daphne continues to refuse. She was informed of the engagement. They need Daphne, so Ridge wants her to return. Once more, the nose says no. Carter is out of her mind. Daphne considers Carter while she is not on the phone. There are multiple flashbacks of Carter and Daphne. TRIDG's uneasy conversation. At the estate of Eric Forrester, Ridge pours a drink for himself. If he wants to discuss it, Taylor asks. Ridge shifts the topic and asserts his ignorance. Taylor presses. Last night, he was withdrawn. Ridge informs her about Brooke, Logan, and Nick. Taylor makes a joke about Ridge and Nick getting back together and starting again. Nick is called a haughty ass by Ridge. How does it feel to see Nick with Brooke? Taylor asks. Ridge feels more like a distant cousin, even though he acknowledges that Nick is his half-brother. Ridge refers to him as a tool. There is history, and Ridge dislikes seeing them together. Ridge asserts that Brooke is free to choose whether or not to spend time with Nick. Taylor doesn't appear to believe him, though. Taylor attempts to talk Ridge out of it. Taylor points out that Ridge despises Nick just as much as he despises Bill Spencer. Brooke is unrelated to the designer's assertion that they are both egomaniacs. The psychiatrist's eyebrows go up. According to Taylor, Brooke is a mature adult who is capable of caring for herself. According to Taylor, Nick and Brooke are re-establishing their relationship. Taylor asks further questions when Ridge freaks out. After covering, Ridge asks, "Are we okay?" With anxious expressions on their faces, Tridge embraces. Read this. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Hayes is saved from Luna by Elektra's bravery? Katie Logan's response. Katie's office is where Brooke is. The brunette thinks it's about Ridge as she can sense her sister is preoccupied. Brooke informs her that Nick is coming back. Katie smiles, but her expression is unenthusiastic. Being pursued must be pleasant, according to Katie. Nick appears as soon as Tridge gets back together and Brooke unexpectedly becomes unattached. Brooke confesses to kissing. Nick was shocked to learn that she was still in the same old Ridge predicament. Brooke informs her. Brooke is not interested in dating another man. All she wants is better treatment from Ridge. Ridge spotted Nick, the blonde informs Katie. Ridge interrupted them. Brooke smiles tellingly when Katie asks if he was jealous. Brooke claims that although they were friendly enough, Ridge insisted that she avoid Nick. The issue of the double standard is raised by Katie. Katie claims that he is envious. Nick Marone returns to the city that both cursed and crowned him a romantic conundrum as the bright sun rises over Los Angeles and the Forrester fashion empire throbs with sparkling secrets and polished betrayal. He doesn't come back quietly. With tough self-assurance and a distinct gleam of danger, he exits his boat and returns to the turbulent entanglements of the Logan sisters and the Forrester dynasty. A powder keg of emotional warfare, sexy games, and stunning turns awaits for the week of June 23rd, 2025, when Nick suddenly captures the attention of both Brooke Logan and Katie Logan. According to B&B teasers, Nick, the sulky ex-sailor-turned businessman, still longs for his ex-wife Brooke to return, but Los Angeles and its residents have changed. Nick may find himself stranded in unfamiliar waters with Katie, who is secretly pursuing her own ambitions, while he believes he is guiding Brooke back to familiar shores. Katie, the Logan sister who is frequently disregarded, is looking forward to a time when she won't have to be defined by Brooke's oversized shadow or Bill Spencer's betrayals because she is sick of being everyone's emotional second option. When she finds out that Nick is returned, her interest in him is sparked. Her heart skips a beat, not because of nostalgia, but because she is prepared to change the course of her own love story. Katie is a surprise but strong candidate for Nick's heart because of her calm strength and perceptive instincts. Brooke, meanwhile, is still caught between history and self-worth rather than between two men. She feels a spark of rebellion ignited by Nick, a recollection of a time when she was worshipped instead of controlled. The spark that ignites the fuse is their recent, impetuous, and explosive kiss. Naturally, Ridge is observing from the wings, overcome with an unnamed form of jealousy. He feels at ease with Taylor Hayes, who is ready to make a desperate move that could end up ruining them all. A public marriage proposal that takes Nick and Ridge by surprise. When Taylor pops the question at Illinois Giardino, Ridge doesn't show her the kind of love she deserves and instead dons the mask of a man torn between duty and desire. Nick is the one who witnesses the incident and tells Brooke right away, starting a series of altercations. Pure shock is Brooke's first reaction, which is followed by a sour laugh. She tells Katie in her office, swelling a glass of wine and attempting, but failing, to seem amused, he can't be serious. The spark of satisfaction in Katie's chest is hidden as she listens calmly. The Logan sisters are finally recognizing Ridge for the control freak that he is as he spirals out of control. Ridge's order for Brooke to avoid Nick simply serves to strengthen her disobedience. It's a window of opportunity for Katie. Nick is suddenly the most sought-after bachelor in town, while Taylor is enjoying the glory of her failed proposal and Ridge is mired in guilt. Sheila Carter, the ever-present villain, views this as a chess game. Although her cautions about Spencer men and their machinations to Deacon and everyone else who will listen are self-serving, they are not without merit. Her keen eyes, meantime, are aware that Nick's unexpected rise in popularity among the Logan sisters may tip the balance of power. As Sheila watches Will Spencer's cunning scheme to woo Luna Nozawa, a scheme devised by Steffi and Finn to reveal Luna's sinister scheme, she too has her fingers in the wind. Will pretends to be seduced by Luna, imitating his father's cunning charm. However, when Luna lavishes him with kisses, his dissatisfied face betrays a larger scheme. Luna might just stroll into the impending sting. Will's safety is in doubt, though, for Luna is not easily tricked. If she discovers the trap, it might collapse and take the young Spencer down with it. Katie, meanwhile, starts to show up where she thinks Nick could be, the marina, Forrester's offices, even Illinois Giardino, because she is curious about him and no longer just mentions it casually. There is a lot of subtext in their interactions. Nick observes that she has changed. She is not the Katie he knows. She is now filled with flames, self-assurance, and perhaps even rivalry. He brings up Brooke, but Katie smiles knowingly at every remark. Katie informs him, Brooke always knew how to command a room, but some of us know how to read it. Unlike his erratic spark with Brooke, their flirting is a gradual burn. It's respect for one another mixed with unresolved conflict. Nick is drawn to Katie's unexpected charm as well as his past relationship with Brooke. Subtle jabs over wine, passive-aggressive jokes, and an abrupt thrust in their renownedly strong friendship make the sisters' chemistry electrifying. Donna Logan worries as she watches, knowing she cannot stop what is about to happen but fearing a recurrence of their destructive past. Katie begins to show herself as the stronger match, but Brooke is still the sentimental favorite. Nick tells her. They discuss disappointment, loss, and second chances. Nick is shocked to learn how much he values emotional compatibility, which is more important than lust. Ridge, meantime, rages silently. He attempts to act as though Taylor's proposal was charming, but the kiss between Brooke and Nick haunts him. Brooke finds Nick's hypocrisy repulsive, despite his warnings to avoid him. Brooke calmly and bitterly informs him, "You're engaged now." You made a decision. After learning about this altercation, Katie starts to think. Let me make mine. She is aware of her sister's pain. For once, though, she asks herself, what if she doesn't move aside? What if she is worthy of affection that isn't taken from Brooke's scraps? Though her heart is louder, Katie has a strong moral compass. And Katie makes a decision that is modest but profound when Nick starts asking her to dinner and the laughter becomes less reserved. She gives herself permission to hope. Meanwhile, Ridge starts to fall apart. Ironically, his jealousy drives Taylor farther away, making her request appear more desperate in retrospect. At Eric's residence, Tridge gives him a tight but uneasy hug. Although Ridge doesn't want to be by himself, he also doesn't want Taylor to be treated the way she deserves. Knowing this, Brooke doesn't back down. She enjoys her independence. Although Nick expresses his desire for her, Brooke begins to pose challenging questions. How about Katie? What about his boomeranging behavior with Logan women? I'm not playing games, Nick says. He informs her that he has changed. Although Brooke is still doubtful, she has changed from being that impetuous woman pursuing love to saying, I'm not here for chaos, I'm here for clarity. She is contemplating, making calculations, and realizing that solitude may be preferable to being a second-class citizen. Daphne Rose, meantime, finds herself at a crossroads. Steffi offers her friendship and creative power in exchange for her returning to Forrester Creations. However, Carter, her ex-boyfriend who is now engaged to Hope, haunts Daphne. Carter and Hope put up a show of security, but Hope's lingering concern goes beyond business when they share a kiss in the supply closet. Hope is aware that Daphne poses a threat. The person who creates FC's iconic scent has the ability to both revitalize the company and destroy the bonds that exist inside it. Unresolved anguish and lasting emotion are revealed through flashbacks of Carter and Daphne. Daphne denies, but her eyes seem to be screaming. Her heart is breaking, but she's staying away for the time being. Will Spencer's strategy picks up speed across town. Luna becomes more audacious and unpredictable. Will tries to get a confession out of them by recording their discussions. However, his disdain is eroding. Despite her dubious intentions, Luna's appeal is irresistible. Sheila observes from the shadows, intrigued by the outcome of the game but aware of Luna's peril. When she witnesses betrayal, she recognizes it. At one point, she wore it as perfume. In addition, Steffi's business choices are at stake when it comes to perfume. The fresh launch might stall without Daphne. It may blow up with her in a lot of ways. The Cold War between the Logan sisters intensifies in the meantime. Katie's subdued interest in Nick becomes more noticeable. Brooke is torn between adulthood and recollection. Ridge's denial grows stronger. Additionally, Nick, the outlaw who came back to take back his past, is confronted with a future he never could have predicted, one in which the Logan ladies would not only challenge him but also no longer wait for him. Although love has always been complicated on The Bold and the Beautiful, this week's plot is complicated by betrayal, second chances, and the surprising prospect that Katie Logan, not Brooke, will end up winning Nick Marone's heart. And everything is up in the air if she does. Despite her outward grin, Brooke's anger is notorious. Despite her gentle gait, Katie has finished last. And Nick Marone, the love-stricken sailor, is going to discover that negotiating the Logan sisters is the riskiest journey of all. Luna's kiss, Taylor's proposal, and Nick's intelligence. The Bold and the Beautiful has released a preview clip for the week of June 23, 2025. It shows someone being kissed by Luna Nozawa. Taylor Hayes makes a proposal to Ridge Forrester. Meanwhile, Nick Marone tries to sway Brooke's decision. As you read on, let's talk about what's coming up in the CBS soap drama. Taylor Hayes' marriage proposal. The promo video for next week begins with Ridge and Taylor dining at a restaurant. Taylor pops the question while seated at a tiny table for two. The brunette says she wants to marry Ridge. Then she implores the designer to tell her that he wants to be married too. Ridge's face conveys everything. He doesn't seem really interested in getting married, even though he is devoted to Taylor and loves her. It's interesting that Taylor is putting forth a suggestion. Not very long ago, it was Ridge who was rushing along with Taylor. The two moved in together right away, and Ridge talked about giving them a place of their own. Ridge had planned to seal the deal as quickly as possible back then, but now that Nick has returned after Brooke, it seems that things have changed. Ridge has an uncomfortable, embarrassed look on his face. If Ridge tells Taylor not to do so now, she will know everything she needs to know. But I wonder if Taylor will stop at nothing to retain the man she wants. Nick Marone's intel. Nick and Brooke stopped by to see her again. It looks like Nick was spying on Tridge. Brooke received some distressing information from the sailor, but it's possible that this is done to sway her decision. Even though Nick is aware of the blonde's obsession with Ridge, he still desires her return. If Nick informs her that Taylor asked Ridge to marry her, will she accept going with him? Spencer's mistake. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Will Spencer visits Luna in her flat. When Luna invites Will inside, he confesses that he broke up with Electra Forrester.